How's it going, everyone? We're back today looking at the white browser, Earl Doobie. At this point, Earl is a pretty infamous predator, most known for groping a 17-year-old at his old workplace, a movie theater, Imagine Macomb, and then proceeding to make a Reddit post about it, about how his life has become an anime. He's also known for running an anime Discord server full of minors who he showed hentai to on numerous occasions, with the title of Daddy nonetheless. Needless to say, Earl Diddy is a pretty insane person, and ever since making his grand return to the internet, he's been fast-tracking a downward spiral. I won't be looking at his New Testament Coopulations video, simply because it's some insane, clearly very mentally ill man rambling for almost 31 minutes about actually nothing. Pretty much the only things interesting about the video are the shit that's on his wall that nobody can read, and the fact that he has a body pillow wife now, which is hilariously on brand for an incel like Earl. What we will be looking at, however, is a video where he shaves his head to Friday I'm in Love for 13 minutes. I'm assuming he plays that for the whole 13 minutes so people can't play it without getting copyright claimed. I guess he's never heard of muting a video, but we're going to be looking at that and then a bunch of other stupid shit he's been posting recently. If you guys do want me to cover the new Coopulations video, I would. Just let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. Honestly, it might be the most boring video you've ever watched, but who knows. Anyways, let's get right into it. We are 22 seconds into this video, and we have already established that Earl is a fucking moron and can't even shave his head right. I get that there was no one in his house that could teach him how to shave, but Jesus fucking Christ, man, let's step up the fucking game here, bro. I'm actually watching the rest of this video, and I think that either Bowser is the dumbest man on the planet, or I have fallen victim to some intense trolling operation where he pretends to not know how to shave his head, because there's genuinely no way that for 13 minutes someone can actually struggle to shave their head like this. I genuinely think that I am being trolled right now. Next, we're going to be taking a look at some recipes the self-proclaimed bald-based Bowser has been concocting, Mr. Earl Diddy himself, the master chef. Unfortunately, these videos aren't sick and demented like King Cobra JFS's food videos, but there is some interesting content and some interesting insight to Earl and how he operates as a person. A patently obvious characteristic about Earl is how he always thinks that he's the smartest in the room, that he's always right and always knows what's best. As you'll see in these videos, this couldn't be further from the truth, at least on the culinary front. For those wishing to see me dunk on him for more interesting things, be sure to stick around though, because we'll be looking at some tweets he's made where he continues this pattern of taking the moral high ground before proceeding to be hilariously incorrect about certain things, such as calling Smokey and Kiwi pedophiles. For now, let's watch Gunt King Doobie be the worst chef on YouTube.
Hi everyone, the White Bowser here for the first of many food reviews, or ball-based Bowser, as I am known now. Sorry, gotta get used to my new branding.
This honestly might be in contention for the worst rebrand of all time. Not quite sure if there's anything based about being a predator, but in Earl's demented world there probably is.
So first and foremost, we have this right here. This will be the final product of what you're gonna make. This will be what your chocolate coffee looks like. We're gonna get out chocolate milk, and now some of you might wonder, baseball Bowser. Why don't you use regular milk?
I think based on his physique change from his hiatus, the answer should be pretty obvious. It's because he's a big feller, big backed, as the kids call him. But the reason he actually gives is really, really funny, so please keep watching.
In your coffee instead of chocolate milk? Well, I'll tell you. Regular milk does not have sodium in it. Why is this? Well, because chocolate milk is made from chocolate primarily. It has sodium and salt in it for cooking purposes. So the salt in this actually makes the chocolate coffee more savory in a way than it would if you used regular milk mixed in with the coffee.
Apologies if this is sounding like I'm about to actually, the living embodiment of the actually, but just hear me out here. Reason why you would use something sweet like chocolate milk is not because of its sodium content that makes it more savory. It doesn't make it more savory. Coffee is already bitter and savory. You use chocolate milk because it makes it sweet, but the white Bowser wants to sound like he's smarter than you, so he's going to give you this stupid explanation that any person who rubs their two brain cells together could figure out. What's more likely than not, the real reason why he uses chocolate milk instead of regular milk in his coffee is because he just doesn't like the taste of coffee. He needs to cover it up using some sweet stuff, which is probably something he does very regularly, which is evidenced by his ballooning weight. He likes to blame said weight gain on his use of medication for anxiety that he pins on the trolls trolling him and thus causing him to develop anxiety. Despite this not being how this works at all, this is also likely a way for him to cover up that he's been ballooning in weight because he's a poor eater. This also harps on the fact that Bowser has a storied habit of shifting the blame on something else or changing the story to make it more favorable for him. For example, the girl he groped at Imagine Macomb, he tries to soften the blow by defending the fact that she wasn't a minor, which she was, instead of defending the fact that he didn't do the groping at all. In his mind, people are hung up on the fact that she was a minor, and that's why people are mad at him. People are mad at him because he groped somebody. In regards to the Discord server, he tries to soften the blowback by saying he was vaulted into his high position ranking in order to try and deflect. Once again, Earl Diddy is intentionally trying to make the audience miss the forest for the trees, despite the fact that this works on no one. No one is mad at him for being in the Discord server, though it is pretty weird that he was frequenting and in a position of power of a Discord server with NSFW undertones filled with minors. What people are actually upset at him about is the fact that he showed said minors NSFW content. And this idea of how his wounds were wholly self-inflicted, were not his fault, is the impetus of Earl's story. The fact that he was the one who brought this tsunami of eyes onto him, and the fact that he cannot stay away, as he was first put on the radar as a member of Smokey's community, where he told a veteran who was struggling with depression to go through with it and to just neck it. This was the shot heard around the world and the beginning of his story. These are details that, while Bowser evolves as a lolcow, that we will never forget as much as he'd like us to. I'm afraid I've gotten a little bit off track and you guys might be tired of hearing me speak, so let's get back to watching Bowser horribly fuck up a recipe.
Let me just pour the regular coffee from the coffee cup into here. You'll notice it just kind of looks like normal coffee. It's just totally black, right? Now, what you gotta do is you gotta take your chocolate milk. This can be any sort of chocolate milk, really. Make sure to always get like 1% low-fat chocolate milk. You don't want your chocolate milk to be too creamy, because the creamier milk is, the higher sugar and fat content it is. That's just a fact. Gotta watch your weight, people, unlike me. So then we just mix this into here. We don't gotta do too much. And a little more. And boom. Now you'll notice that the color of the coffee changed, and the chocolate milk mixed in with the coffee.
I mean, at least he's self-aware, right? I'm personally enamored with the way Earl talks about the coffee. The way he explains everything as if the people watching this are blind, when the only thing that viewers would be potentially blind to are the fact that he's a predator. Another funny thing is how he says to not put too much in before pouring in a quarter of the jug. However, this is enough of dunking on him for being an incompetent human in the kitchen, as we all have to start somewhere in that regard. So let's move on to dunking on him for being an incompetent idiot. While this Twitter thread looks like it might be interesting on the surface, it's honestly just a nothing burger and another case of Earl being a fucking idiot. Smoking Gun is a series of interviews posted by Strauss, content creator who has made videos calling out Earl for being a predator, by the way, of a few other lolcow content creators interviewing Cyrax almost 2 years ago. After watching these interviews, it's very obvious that these people are egging Cyrax on into saying insane shit and self-reporting, a common tactic done to get these targets to further incriminate themselves. While I'm not here to defend these adults who are more than capable of doing this themselves, and I believe a few of these interviewers have gotten in trouble for some stuff as well, this doesn't make my previous statement any less true. Once again, Earl has tried to be the smartest in the room and has failed miserably. That's really the message I want to end this video off on. We're in a holding pattern as it stands with Earl, as he's clearly been on a downward spiral. And it's likely only a matter of time anyways until the next bombshell about Earl and what he's been up to on his hiatus from posting releases. And when that happens, you'll know where to find me. For now though, I'll see you guys next time.